Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to Builds with Anna. Today we are in the beautiful world of Sulani and we are building a small beach house. So this beach house came about from, I was just looking at reference pictures online and I saw the roof that this house has. I've kind of emulated it in this build. You'll see shortly, and it just the lining, the roof line, just absolutely caught my eye, and I really loved how it had a little bit like a beach hut vibe to it. So yeah, I thought, why not? Let's just go for it. And this house actually came together fairly simple. For me, the floor plan was a very basic floor plan, which I'm just doing here. So this ends up being a two-bedroom, one-bathroom home, and it has a lot of decking, as you can see. And this house is very much a house where I would envision entertainers. So someone who really is maybe potentially really a part of the Sulani culture, has a lot of gatherings, really likes to be part of the community, potentially lots of parties and what have you. Um, and yeah, so I'm just working on that roof now. So those flat curved pieces were really much part of my reference photo. And I really love how it just is a very basic roofing design, but it looks really effective in giving that kind of beach hut style vibe, which we've got here today. And yeah, so I think it turned out pretty well in terms of the roof and how it's so that side piece there, sorry, that you'll see. That's actually where I put the bar. So that's kind of got so the actual, and we'll get to it in a minute when we get to the outside of the build when we do the decorating. The entertainment area is separated into three areas, and I just love how turned out. All right, so we're inside. So we're just placing some doors. As I said, we've got our floor plan, we've got our two bedrooms and our bathroom. Now, the concept inside was a very light wood tone palette and the color scheme, I use that kind of like a bright cyan blue with like a deep peachy kind of pink. And it just turned out so well. This house was just such a pretty house. I'm currently just playing around with the wallpaper and I decided the wallpaper I actually initially put it inside actually turned out to be the outside wallpaper. And I went with a more kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks a bit more modern inside in terms of the color of the wallpaper. We definitely use a lot of light wood tones in this build, as you can see. And yeah, so here's that wallpaper that looks a little bit more modern and cleaner. And it's all like a light wood tone. That's very much the vibe. Just changing the floorboards because I wanted a little bit more of a rustic look, I suppose. Yeah. So we're just placing some windows. I said this build, I believe, uses mainly Island Living base game, and I think there's a little bit of high school year stuff. Not a lot, but just a little bit in the kids' room, I believe. But yeah, so obviously a lot of the assets came from the pack from this world, and that was really important to me to really kind of showcase Sulani and the objects in this world so that it was very cohesive in design and what have you. That is very much a tip that I have, is that if you are ever struggling with design, consider the world that you're building in, and is it a world that comes with a pack, and if so, use that pack. It'll help. Alrighty, so we are just we are starting on the kitchen. And this is where you'll see that cyan bright blue with the light wood. I just loved this color combination. I just thought it absolutely added so much character to this kitchen. And the kitchen in this house, as you can see, it is a very open plan, small house. And that kitchen is very much that focal point of the house. and that blue and the pink in the bar stools really sets the tone for the color scheme of the whole build. Now, I was going to stick with just Island Living and Base Game, but as I said, that high school years wicker bin, it just fits so well in this build that I had to make the exception. So we do actually change where the sliding doors are for this build. I realized that the living room was coming together and it just wasn't working the way that it was. So in the end, I put it so that the house is actually, as I say in one of my floor plan tips, if you've seen that video, if not, definitely go have a look, is that I like to connect a streamline from the front door to the back door. So this actually made more sense in terms of that tip that I give anyway. So again, we are carrying on a lot with the blues and the pinks, with the contrasting wood tones. Just a very simply decorated living room. I love this living room. I just think that the usage of the pattern and the colors, that pink is so beautiful. It's just really nice. Yeah, it's just a very simple living room. There's nothing really much to it, but I love just how it just blends, and it's so harmonious from the kitchen into the living room, and it really pulls you that way. When you look at the house from the front door, it's such an inviting feel. Okay. So yeah, I'm now just putting some cabinetry, I believe, and I just decided to use the light wood tone and not use the blue, and I didn't continue that blue because I just wanted to keep the focal point in the counters and not the cabinets. Okay, so we're just cluttering up this shelving unit. I love this little shelving unit. I think it's really cool. And at the front of the house, that little focal piece, it's not really a functional space. It's more of a decorative little nook, and I think it's just pretty. And of course, the outside pagoda area. So that's where we have our formal dining. We also have a small dining table inside. I don't know what's been going on with my builds lately, but every time I do a small home, I forget that I have to have a dining table. And this was another house where I forgot I needed a dining table. So apologies about that, but you'll see that in there. This wall decoration was a custom piece. So it's actually, I don't believe it's a wall decoration, but I've used the 9 key and raised it up and changed the color, and it looks like a focal piece of artwork. So I thought that was nice. All right, the master bedroom, which we are currently doing now. I loved this bedroom. This really gave me resort vibes, very clean, very minimal, but just beautiful in colors. It's got little elements of pink in there, which really illustrate the rest of the color theme of the house. But it has that kind of elegant resort type vibe, and I just loved that for this bedroom. So yeah, so you've got kind of fun pops of color out in the living area, but they have like this private kind of luxe type of resort type bedroom, and I think that's really sweet as well. So just playing around with some rugs, and yeah, I end up putting 2 mirrors side by side in this build. I believe they're the tiny living ones, yep. And I wish this mirror came in like a more of an oval shaped, but I just put 2 together and it looked okay. And again, backyard stuff. Actually, no, I don't end up keeping it. No, I don't. So the candles that came with this pack were quite pretty anyway. So that was always an option that I had for the dresser. Just cluttering up, just putting some pictures. And are we surprised? No, we're bringing out the immaculate shelves. Alrighty, and then we're into the children's room. So this is I believe it's a male child sim. And we've gone with this blue bed. And I loved this blue. I thought it was like, I wanted to definitely stick with the island living theme. So I wanted to give them a bed that kind of matched the aesthetic of the house. So to be complementary, we stick with island living as opposed to all the new beds that we've got with high school years. I wanted to stick with that. I still went with the laundry piece from high school years, but this room really, I wanted to base this room off of that blue. I really thought it was a vibrant colour and a little bit different to what I'd done in children's bedrooms before. It is a very basic bedroom. It's still got a desk, a dresser and what have you. It's not very big. There's not a lot going on. I thought this blue mirror would be fun because it's got the stickers on it. It shows a bit of personality. And then I really liked the concept of putting the laundry underneath the side table, sorry. I thought that gave a little bit of a personality. Maybe they were told to tidy up and they just shoved it under their side table. And the frog. The frog was important because it had the colour scheme and also it kind of gave me that wildlife type of tropical vibe that we went with. Alrighty, so we're into the bathroom, which is the last room of the inside that I decorate. And very much island living in here, but I think I use a rug that has a bit of red in it, and it really looks nice. I really like the vibe of this room quite a lot. So we use that towel that has a bit of red, and then I went with a rug from Island Living, and I believe, yes, it's got that little bit of red in it with the blue, and it was beautiful. All right, so now we are out to the entertainment area of the house. So this entertainment space is separated into 3 parts. So under this canopy, you've got this beautiful kind of like resort type feel dining. And I sized down and raised up one of the pot plants with Island Living, and I just think it looks so beautiful. I love that plant, but I just think sometimes it's a little bit obnoxiously big. So I like the fact that I could size it down and raise it up, and I just think it's such a beautiful little area. And then I totally forgot we had the most prettiest curtains in this pack. So I ran around and frantically put some curtains, and I did change the colour swatches of a couple to match the room that they were going in. This little wooden room divider was so cute. So I've put it there to kind of give that separation between the kind of dining section, and now we're moving more into the bar section. So this is where the bar is. There'll be a little bit of seating, a little bit of a communal space where potentially Sims have, their music. They can sit around and they can talk and they can drink and party and whatever have you. But then around the initial part of the back of the veranda space, that is that dining area. So it is sectioned. It is very much sectioned into 3 areas. So you've got the bar, you've got a communal sitting space, and then you have the formal dining. And I include little details like the scuba stand. As you can see, I'm just doing that little communal sitting place there. I do end up sizing down that coffee table just because I think it's a bit obnoxious the way it is. And I end up adding one of the 3-seater couches again. Just because I think it looks really sweet. And yeah, just sized it down. So just putting some bar stools. The music. I went with a Snowy Escape letterbox only because to me, I don't feel that Sulani would have a standing mailbox. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me. All right, so we've skipped ahead towards the end of the build. So here is my last final touches. I decided to put some fairy lights, and I just love this. I absolutely love how this little dining nook turned out, and I think the lighting it's so pretty at night, and it's just such an inviting space. So yeah, this is pretty much the build. Just doing some final touches now, and so let me know your thoughts of the beach house. I thought it was quite well. I did realize that I didn't really go in with much landscaping, but that's because I wanted those entertainment areas to really be the focal point of this house. So yeah, I think I achieved that quite well with this design. So we're just doing a normal tour as we do with all my speed builds, just to kind of recap again what we have built today. So that bedroom, the bathroom there. Now we're into that entertainment space. Look at this place in a sunset. It's just absolutely beautiful. What a gorgeous house, and I use that for the thumbnail because it sold me. It was so beautiful, those fairy lights and that dining section, and it's just such a pretty world. It's Probably one of my favorite worlds in the game, for sure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And comment and like down below what it is that you liked to your build, potentially which part of the house was your favorite. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.